when the Korean newspaper JoongAng Ilbo dropped its exclusive investigation last week. It sent shockwaves rippling across the Korean entertainment industry and through every corner of the internet. The headline alone was enough to stop readers mid-scroll. Park Eun-bin and Rowoon's combined net worth revealed after marriage. The story promised to lift the curtain on one of the most talked-about couples in Korea today, offering a rare, quantified glimpse into the fortunes they had built individually and the staggering figure they now share as husband and wife. The reaction was instantaneous. Social media feeds filled with hashtags, debates and jaw-dropped emojis. Fans flooded online forums with speculation, their guesses ranging from modest millions to numbers in the stratosphere. International K-drama watchers joined the conversation, eager to translate and share the details with audiences far beyond Seoul. What was clear from the outset was that this was not just about numbers, it was about two careers that had scaled the heights of Korean pop culture, converging in a personal and financial union that would only magnify their influence. Before diving into the combined figure that has everyone talking, it's worth revisiting the story of how they arrived here, not just as partners in life, but as two of the most bankable names in the industry. Park Eun-bin's journey reads like a masterclass in sustained, carefully managed growth. From child actress to household name, she built a reputation on versatility, discipline and a near-flawless public image. By the time she took on the lead role in Extraordinary Attorney Woo, she was commanding drama fees of roughly $80 million per episode, about $60,000, over a 16-episode run. That meant nearly $1 million from a single series, without even counting the lucrative sponsorships that followed. Endorsements became a second revenue stream that rivaled, and in some years even surpassed, her acting income. In 2023 alone, she fronted campaigns for at least 6 major brands, including a cosmetics deal worth an estimated $1.5 billion, $1 million, and a luxury fashion partnership pegged at $2 billion, $1.5 million. She diversified early, quietly acquiring a high-end apartment in Seoul's Hanam-dong district in 2020 for a reported $4.8 billion, about $3.6 million, now valued at closer to $5 billion thanks to the capital's relentless real estate climb. Industry insiders whisper of conservative but steady investments in blue-chip stocks, likely adding another $1 million to her personal balance sheet. Rowoon's rise was no less strategic, though it took a different route. Debuting as a member of the K-pop group SF9, first built a loyal fanbase through music before leveraging that popularity into acting. By the time he starred in The King's Affection, acting fees had reached $70 million per episode, about $52,000, with CF contracts rolling in on the back of his clean-cut, aspirational image. Music royalties and touring income during his SF9 years were nothing to dismiss. Industry estimates put his annual earnings during peak touring seasons at $1.20 to $1.5 million. Like Park, he understood the power of real estate as both a status symbol and a wealth anchor. In late 2021, he purchased a modern luxury villa in Seoul's Gyeongbuk-dong area for approximately $3.9 billion, $2.9 million. His garage reflected a taste for understated luxury. Think a $180 million Genesis G90 rather than a fleet of imported sports cars. Endorsement deals in 2023 included a premium men's skincare line, $800 million, and a sportswear brand collaboration worth $1.2 billion. Modeling fees for magazine shoots and public appearances. And Rowoon's pre-marriage annual income regularly crossed the $3 million mark. Together, their individual net worths before the wedding painted a picture of two stars who had already made it by any industry metric. Park Eun-bin's assets, conservatively estimated, stood at around $9 to $10 million. Rowoon's hovered in the $6 to $7 million range. Both figures were the product of sustained success, careful money management, and a marketable image unmarred by major scandal. JoongAng Ilbo piece suggested that marriage would not just add these numbers together, it would multiply them in ways that even seasoned industry watchers found extraordinary. Their wedding itself offered a preview of the financial synergy to come. Held at a 5-star venue in central Seoul, the guest list read like the who's who of Korean entertainment, fashion and politics. Industry estimates put the cost at around $500 million, $375,000, with a significant portion offset by brand partnerships that treated the event as a marketing opportunity. the bride's couture gown, valued at over $50,000, provided by an international luxury house in exchange for exclusive photo rights. Even the floral arrangements, a sea of imported blooms, were said to be part of a high-value sponsorship deal. The marriage chapter of their financial story was impressive. Days immediately following the wedding signaled a new phase entirely. Joint endorsement offers began arriving within hours of the ceremony. Advertisers understood that the Parkoon Bin x Rowoon brand was now more than the sum of its parts. It was a ready-made love story with a built-in fanbase across multiple demographics. The JoongAng Ilbo teased its readers in the closing paragraphs of its first release. The couple's post-marriage net worth, they hinted, was not just the combined $16 to $17 million many assumed. It was already climbing higher. Fueled by new contracts, shared investments, powerful brand synergy. The exact figure, and the strategy that would keep it growing, would be revealed in the second part of their investigative report. That cliffhanger sent fans and analysts alike into a frenzy, speculating about everything from secret overseas property holdings to joint ventures in fashion or entertainment. The sense of anticipation was electric. If part one of this financial love story was about two individuals building their empires separately, part two promised to show what happens when those empires merge. The numbers, according to JoongAng Ilbo, would defy conventional expectations. Question was, by how much? The follow-up from JoongAng Ilbo landed with the precision of a perfectly timed plot twist. Opening with a simple narrative line, as of this month, the combined net worth of Parkoon Bin and Rowoon stands at approximately $27 billion, the report confirmed what many had guessed and few had dared to say aloud. Together, they were worth about $2 million, and rising. That number was not a crude addition of pre-marriage fortunes. It included a series of joint endorsements signed within weeks of the wedding, conservatively valued at $5 billion, $3.3 million. Chief among them was a 2-year deal with a leading Korean telecommunications giant, worth $2 billion, positioning the couple as the face of its new family-focused ad campaign. Another was a high-fashion brand's global campaign featuring both stars, with fees rumored at $1 billion plus performance bonuses based on social media engagement metrics. Their real estate portfolio expanded almost immediately. In late July, property records showed the purchase of a $6.2 billion, $6 million, penthouse in the Cheongdam district. Under joint names, analysts noted that Cheongdam penthouses have historically appreciated at 5-7% annually, suggesting the couple could see a paper gain of at least $300 million, $225 within the first year. There were also whispers, unconfirmed but persistent, about an overseas investment in a Tokyo luxury apartment development, potentially as both a financial play and a foothold for expanding their Japanese fan engagement. The synergy of their combined image was perhaps the most powerful asset. Marketing experts interviewed by JoongAng Ilbo estimated that pairing them in a campaign boosted brand recall by up to 40% compared to solo appearances. The multiplier effect meant their joint appearance fees were often 1.5 to 2 times higher than what each would command individually. One cosmetics company executive was quoted anonymously, saying, "With Parkoon Bin you get elegance and credibility. With Rowoon, you get charm and aspirational appeal. Together, you get magic, and magic sells." Financial planners close to the couple, speaking on background, described a conservative investment approach designed to preserve capital while generating steady returns. About 35% of their wealth was allocated to real estate, 25% to blue-chip equities, 15% to index funds, and 10% to private equity opportunities in the entertainment and fashion sectors. The remaining 15% was kept in cash or short-term deposits for liquidity. Based on these allocations and average market returns, it was reasonable to project their net worth growing by 8-10% annually without accounting for new income. Public reaction to the JoongAng Ilbo revelations was a mix of admiration and incredulity. Fans flooded the couple's Instagram accounts with congratulations, while entertainment blogs ran headlines about the power couple redefining success in Korean showbiz. A financial commentator on a popular morning talk show put it bluntly, "They're not just celebrities now, they're a brand. And that brand is worth millions." The glamour and the numbers. There were signs that Parkoon Bin and Rowoon intended to channel some of their wealth into causes they cared about. The report noted a $200 million donation made quietly to Children's Hospital Fund shortly after the wedding. There were hints of future philanthropic projects, probably under a joint foundation bearing both their names. The future earnings potential was, if anything, remarkable than their current valuation. Upcoming drama projects for Park were expected to pay $90 million per episode, while Rowoon's next series was reportedly budgeted to accommodate $80 million per episode for his role. If both projects ran standard 16-episode seasons, that alone would generate about $7 million in acting fees. Factor in the inevitable wave of endorsements timed to coincide with those dramas, and the couple's annual income could comfortably exceed $5 million in the coming year. In the end, the JoongAng Ilbo report was more than an accounting exercise. It was a narrative about two careers that had converged at the perfect moment, amplifying each other in ways that were both romantic and ruthlessly efficient. It was about the intersection of love, fame, and in a world where every image can be monetized, every public appearance can be sponsored, and every personal milestone can be leveraged for brand equity. As the final paragraph put it, for Park Eun-bin and Rowoon, the wedding was not the culmination of their story, it was the launch of a joint enterprise whose most valuable asset may be the story they embody. And with that, the speculation began anew. Not about whether they were wealthy, that was now beyond dispute, but about how high, and how fast, the number would climb from here.